Good evening, SUNY Fredonia. Welcome to 89.5 WDVL, The Inferno, and welcome to Be Determined. I'm Coley.
I'm Tyler.
And this is our radio show, To Be Determined. Tyler, why don't you tell us what's going on today?
You got it. So tonight we have a very special guest in the studio who we'll introduce in just a second. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to make them listen to an entire musical soundtrack 30 seconds at a time, and they're going to tell us what's going on during the show, but without any prior preparation in doing so. We're going to see what they get right and what they get wrong at the end of the show. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello. I'm Simon Szentgyorgyi. I'm a sophomore here. My pronouns are they, them. I'm a theater arts major.
Ooh.
And my favorite musical is Pippin.
Ooh, slay.
Slay. Okay, so we have our musical picked out for you. So basically, you can ask us just about any question, and we will determine if we can answer it or not without giving out any super big parts of the plot. All right? Do you want to get started?
What's the title of the episode this week?
What's this
Oh my
episode,
God.
Tyler?
Oh, yeah. So the title of the episode is, drumroll please, the Andrew Lloyd Webcast.
Woohoo!
So this is your first song. Ready?
Some folks dream of the wonders they'll do before their time on this planet is through. Some just don't have anything planned. They hide their hopes and their heads in the sand. Now I don't say who's wrong, who is right.
Alrighty. So that's your first 30 seconds.
Okay.
Any feedback?
I don't know if the title of this week's episode is just a funny pun or if this is an Andrew Lloyd Webber show.
It is an Andrew Lloyd Webber show.
Okay, because I was about to say, if it's not, it definitely sounds like something that would have come out at the time that a lot of Andrew Lloyd Webber shows. It has that sort of like 80s Broadway feel.
Awesome. But you don't know the show, correct?
No, at least not this song.
Fantastic. You
see-
might get it later on.
Yeah,
We'll
if
see.
this song, if it has like a song that is more popular or is more commonly known, maybe I'll get that one. I don't know what the hell that is. That just-
Awesome.
You see, this episode's also a lot of fun because as Simon has no clue what anything we're doing is I vaguely know this show. Like, I know a few select songs and, like, the title, obviously, but this is also a fun guessing game for me to figure out what on earth is happening.
See, and it's really fun for me because I know this show like the back of my hand. So I'm super excited. Okay, so here is your next song.
A crash of drums, a flash of light. My golden coat flew out of sight. The colors faded into darkness. I was left alone.
Simon just like death glared me through that whole thing.
Is this Joseph?
It is in fact Joseph. So before we move on, do you know the plot of Joseph?
No, but I know it's about like the Joseph.
Okay.
So
I'm
no.
gonna say we're just gonna keep going then.
I definitely keep going. I know next to nothing about this musical except that it
Fantastic.
exists.
Fantastic. That is exactly what we needed, to be honest. Okay, so what do you think is going on so far, if anything?
Well, now that I know that now that I'm more confused about the first song, it's definitely some sort of like, I'm a narrator figure and I'm just gonna set the scene, but there's something about dreams and things you want to do before you're dead. I'm gonna just not worry about that because it's again, I feel like it's definitely just like a, hey, the show's starting, here's the place we're in. Second song is Joseph singing about his coat. And that's all I can give you.
Like that? No, you're basically right. I will tell you the last song that we just played is like the main number / melody of the song, arguably, because there's technically two.
Okay.
But so this next one is a two-parter because for whatever reason they combined them. Those silly Canadians. This is the Canadian cast, by the way.
Okay, that makes sense.
I was very specific about picking this one because it's Donny Osmond, and I have an absolute desperate crush on Donny Osmond. So I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm just trying to like extend this. All right, so here's your next part.
Farming to earn their keep. Jacob and Sons spent all of their days in the fields with sheep. Jacob was the founder of a whole new nation. Thanks to the number of children he had, he was also known as Israel, but most of the time, his sons and his wives used to call him Dad. Jacob and Sons, the men of the soil, of the sheep and the crook.
Got anything?
It's giving Canadian Mushnik and Son, but I think it's just the Jacob and Son and my little shop obsession.
Rather than like really being able to tell the narrative relevance of any of these songs so far, this is just reminding me of my Andrew Lloyd Webber opinions.
100% valid.
I'm really I like I said, I don't know this show. Maybe if I were more familiar, I would love it half as much as you do. But personally, with what I do know, my opinion is Andrew Lloyd Webber really knocked it out of the park with Jesus Christ Superstar, and then he could have just gone home.
You're so real for that.
And so some of these lyrics, I'm like, oh man.
Hey, want to know something really funny? We almost gave you Jesus Christ Superstar.
That you would have needed a backup.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I don't know what FCC regulations we have to follow, so I'm really keeping an eye on what I say, but insert expletive here. I love Jesus Christ Superstar.
You know what's funny is I've never actually listened to it, but I was just like, might be one of the shows that they don't know.
No, you picked the right Andrew Lloyd Webber Jesus musical. I know Jesus isn't in this one.
I was going to say this is before Jesus.
But that's okay. It's close enough.
I also think this is very silly. So I'm a token Jew, and talking about any sort of religion and applying it to songs about anything besides Judaism, I'm like, cool, fun,
So-
colorful.
Bestie, this is from the Old Testament.
Oh, I don't know that.
So that's the Torah.
I don't know that. Guys, I'm Jewish. Like,
The Torah's yours.
I knew that. I didn't read it.
Not fair. How many Christians have read the Bible?
It's a glorified book club. Anyway, so here's your next song. Yes.
It was red and yellow and green and brown and scarlet and black and ochre and
Simon just gave me a nod as soon as I turned it on.
violet and fawn and lilac and gold and chocolate and mauve and green and crimson and silver and rose and azure and lemon and russet and gray and purple and white and pink and orange and blue.
Colors.
What a bop.
Yes. So I was stroking my chin for a second because I was prepared to say, this is the one song from this show that I know, but that is incorrect. There is another song in this musical whose title I have forgotten, but I have a friend who went to theater school and is doing all kinds of fancy musical theater work and who in fact played Joseph at one point in their career. So there's another song that I will recognize when I hear because I know it was one of their audition songs. So it's like that one and Coat of Many Colors is what this one's called, right?
Joseph's Coat, but yes.
Okay. I know this one and that other one later.
Even if you have to make some random stuff up, what do you think's happening?
So I'm going to try to just go, like, so far. We're in Bethlehem or Nazareth. We're in one of those we're in the desert. And it's so long.
I actually don't know the name of the desert, but yes, you're right. It is a desert.
Yeah, we're out there. And it's so old. And
Who are our main
we
characters right now?
definitely have Joseph. And Jacob and his little boys.
And the coat.
Do you know how many of them there are?
No, but that feels like something that I should know if I read the Bible.
No, that's so fine.
Jacob and his special boys.
Jacob and his special boys.
I think I heard something about Jacob having a business in that song, or him being some sort of he provides something. He's got a job. Jacob's a working man.
What do you think he provides?
I don't remember.
It's okay. We'll get into it later. You'll probably be able to guess it by later.
Joseph is definitely special, because who in the desert, who in the old times has, like, fabric that is colored is so hard to come by in this place and in this time. So Joseph's gotta be a real special guy. If he's got all these fancy colors, like, how many goats did that cost?
Yeah.
Or was it a gift from God?
It could be.
God is the goat.
Okay.
That sounds like youth pastor dialogue.
Here's your next song. I just realized I need to check something in that room, so this one might go on a little longer. I'm just warning you.
Okay.
You ready?
That in the fields one day the corn gave me a sign. Your 11 sheaves of corn all turned and bowed to mine. My sheaf was quite a sight to see, a golden sheaf and tall. Yours were green and second rate and really rather small.
This is not the kind of thing we brothers like to hear. It's
So,
Okay.
what did we learn? How do we feel?
Again, I don't want y'all to get fined, so I can't speak the way that I normally speak. But the corn thing really seems like a metaphor for some sort of phallus measuring contest, you know? Your corn is green and small. And mine is really, really cool and good, and everybody loves it.
Okay, next song. I will let you know you only got like an extra 5 seconds of what we picked out, so cool.
All right, cool.
So here's your next song, and you're actually getting almost a full minute of this one, because I think this one is important. So are you ready?
Okay. I'll take it seriously.
Time to get serious.
Don't take it too seriously.
Okay.
Next day, far from home, the brothers planned a repulsive crime.
let us grab him now. Do it in while we got the time.
This they did and made the most of it. Tore his coat and flung him in a pit.
Let us leave him here all alone and bound to die.
When some Ishmaelites, a hairy crew, came riding by.
All right, tell us what's going on.
I can't stand Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I just want to intervene because the second this song came on, and of course we do not want to get fined, Simon just bangs the table and just says, "What the wahoo is this?"
Yeah, no, I
I love
mouthed
that
it.
censorship.
Earlier, I really like when Coley says wahoo. It's really nice
Oh, yeah.
for my brain. But I'll say, genuine answer, like, whirlwind of thoughts just about the song itself. It does groove. I feel like all of these Old Testament stories follow some sort of similar structure of, like, someone is a good person or is doing something cool or has something cool, and then a big group of people comes to ruin it. And that's what I think is going on here. They tore his coat and they threw him in a pit, and I think it's just because Joseph's just chilling with his coat, and I still don't know, like, why he's special, but he is, and somebody doesn't like that, so into the pit with you.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, just piecing this together, there's Joseph, and he has a really cool coat, and Jacob and his sons, and Jacob and his sons were in a certain contest of
Yeah.
yeah.
I assumed it was Joseph or somebody, because I haven't identified voices yet.
Joseph,
But
yeah.
because I feel like that fits too. That Joseph's got the coolest coat, and he's just swinging, and everybody loves him except for the people who want him in a
Would
pit.
you maybe say he got the coat because he was just swinging the
That
best?
that is so definitely not canon, but for the sake of the bit, I love that so much.
Fantastic. We're going to reveal the real reason at the end of the episode.
Wonderful.
All right, so here's your next song, and I hope you enjoy it.
There's one more angel in heaven. There's one more star in the sky. Joseph will never forget you. It's tough, but we're gonna get by. There's one less place at our table. There's one more tear in my eye. But Joseph, the things that you stood for, like truth and lies, never die.
So what do you think's going on?
We're really early in the show. We're really early on, so Joseph can't be dead. But they're sure talking about him like he's dead. Joseph definitely is not where the story is anymore. He's in the pit. Joseph's in the pit, and he's got friends and or family that he has left behind. Clearly, in addition to just being cool and flashy, was important, like, in the community. Kept things together, and it's tough. It's tough without old Joey. but they're gonna
I literally adore you.
They're gonna do their best. They're gonna do their best, even though they miss their friend Joseph so much, and things are so much harder.
Without Joseph.
But what else can you do?
What else can you do?
I don't know why, but just like the way you said that and just like listening to this, because I vaguely know what's happening in this show. Sorry. But I was just on the feel of that song. I'm imagining like a country singer like Tim McGraw and just Joseph just like in the pit, like at a concert. Like he's mashing and everything. And then they're just like, oh, poor Joey. Seeing McGraw.
Joey's just in the audience with like a red solo cup and like a what, oh my God, what was the example? Toby Keith?
Yeah,
like,
baby, it's all you make me want to roll my cape down and cruise.
Yeah, for real.
That is so funny. I mean, something I love about this musical is how like vastly different each song sounds from each other.
Yeah.
Like it's really creative. This was one of Andrew Lloyd Webber's like earliest works, and I just think it's so cool. Feel how you want about Andrew Lloyd Webber, but I think it's cool.
No, I there definitely is musical merit in a lot of this, but it's so funny to clown on him.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I'm going to keep doing it.
Absolutely. You think I say something like the term Andrew Lloyd Webcast as a term of fondness? Absolutely not. Okay, so here's your next song.
Okay.
Potiphar was counting shekels in his den below the bedroom when he heard a mighty rumpus clattering above him. Suddenly he knew his riches couldn't buy him what he wanted. Gold would never make him happy if she didn't love him.
What a joy it is, Simon, to be in the room at this table with you.
All right. What's going on?
You gave me the look of someone who has heard that soundbite and kind of knew that I'd react like that when we got to that part. For those at home, just like, it's so weird. It's the 80s.
This is actually, I think this was 70s. But even then, it's very timely.
Same vibe.
Yeah.
Point still stands. These are new characters introduced, or at the very least, this is the first time I'm hearing them sung about.
Who are our new characters?
Give them a name. Make it up.
Yeah, if you don't know it, make it up.
No, because I heard it, but not well enough to recreate it. And also have already forgotten. But there's the guy counting his shekels. And I'm really sorry if maybe my brain's bad. Maybe I'm canceling myself for saying this, but the nature of the music, the way the song sounds, and the word shekel, it has some implications that I don't love.
Yeah.
He's the one counting the shekels, really? Okay. But I caught that bit at the end. There's a woman that he yearns for, and his gold means nothing if she does not love him. I don't know what these people have to do with Joseph.
We'll tie that into the plot later.
Okay.
Okay, here's your next song. This is kind of the ballad of the show, and we're giving you close to the tail end, so I'll let you know that.
Before we
Already?
jump right in, I just wanna like add in the show is from 1972, or the soundtrack at least.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
This specific recording is from 1992.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Don't listen to me.
No, you're fine. This show is from the 70s, like 1972. But this
Then yes, the show is from 1972.
This is the Canadian cast with Donny Osmond, as we covered. So here is your next song.
Do not matter, I'm only one person. Destroy me completely, then throw me away. If my life were important, I would ask, will I live or die? But I know the answers lie far from this world.
So what's going on?
I'm so close to knowing the title. I can hear the next line. This is the other song that I know.
This is probably the most famous from
Close
the show.
Every Door to
Yes,
me.
that's it. That's it.
See, and again, like it has been established that some people are out to get Joseph. He's not dead, because this is him singing. I've got nary a clue why people want him dead. But he's lamenting it, but because he's a good, God-fearing man, I imagine it's that sort of tone of like, well, if you think I gotta, then I guess I gotta. Like
That's a very good way of phrasing
that's
that.
how people pray, right? That's how people talk to God.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, big man, like if I gotta go,
Like,
you know,
I'm doing my best down here.
throw me a bone, please.
But if
like,
you want me out, then fine.
My opinion on this is obviously not significant as Simon's the guest, but I do just want to touch on as a person. I know this song. I've heard it many times. However, just in this context, I don't know why my head just went to, this is like views on religions, I'm sorry, I don't know what this is. The crucifixion, when he's on the big T. Crucifixion, and they're like being like, die, and they put him up there.
This is much before that actually happened, but I understand what you're saying.
I figured.
Yeah.
I just wanted
We're talking about the stepdad of the guy that happened to for real.
Yeah. It just my head jumped to it and I wanted to share.
No, you're good.
appreciate you
I get
sharing.
it.
Okay. So your next song is I don't know the proper turn from this, but it's the song at the end of Act 1. I think it's called like the 3 o'clock number or something like that. 12 o'clock number, whatever it is. But you know what I mean. It's the main theme for the show.
Gotcha.
And I believe we're giving you a little extra on this. So.
Okay.
Next the baker rose to tell his dream, hoping it would have a similar theme.
There I was standing with baskets of bread. High in the sky I saw birds overhead who flew to my baskets and ate every slice. Now give me the message, like his would be nice.
Sad to say, your dream is not the kind of dream I'd like to get. Pharaoh has it in for you. Your execution date is set. Don't rely on all I said I saw. It's just that I have not been wrong before.
I will tell you we didn't give you the main chorus because we had to be a little mean, but tell us what's going on.
That's fine. We're definitely, like, I can tell it's the Act 1 finale, even if you hadn't said it, because it's that same actress bringing back the dream thing, which seemed sort of apropos of nothing at the beginning, and now it's coming back because, hey, we're bookending the act. So the dream thing is supposed to have been interwoven throughout the whole thing. It's clearly a theme if they're bringing it up at the beginning and the end. So, I don't know. Does the coat stand for dreams? Is the coat the friends we made along the way? Also, was I following along accurately in that they're executing the baker? Because I just heard about this dude.
That is correct.
Some
yes.
birds ate his bread and now he's dying. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to die for whatever he did wrong. I abolish the death penalty. I'm sorry to get political, but also that.
Okay. So we have a question for you.
Okay.
You have the option right now to get a full rundown of what's happened up until this point, or just keep going.
I think it's funnier if I keep going with the plot I have created until the end, because then I can be even more wrong.
Perfect. All right. Then let's keep going. That was the end of Act 1. We're now moving into Act 2. Round of applause.
Oh my gosh, can I have a cute little ending of Act 1 intermission song?
Absolutely.
Da-da, da-da, intermission, da-da, da-da, and we're back.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I got a candy bar and I went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It was so crowded.
I
Also-
peed like 6 times.
This is so unrelated to anything we're talking about on the show right now, but I just walked into the studio, and there's a bag of pasta sitting on the chair that I did not bring. So what is...
Tyler, I left that for you. It's a bag of
Mystery
gluten-free pasta.
Thank you so much. Is this because it's Valentine's Day?
Actually, the lore is because on my way here, I saw a bag of gluten-free pasta, and my sweet mate Claire, I know you're listening to this, hey baby girl, but she's gluten-free, and I said, Claire, happy Valentine's Day, and I got her a bag of gluten-free pasta, but she asked me to hold on to it, so now it's keeping Tyler company in the booth.
Awesome. Okay. I understand now. All right. Here is your next song, and this is the top of Act 2.
But if my analysis of a position is right, at the end of the tunnel there's a glimmer of light. For all of a sudden indescribable things have shattered the sleep of both peasants and kings. Strange as it seems, there's been a run of crazy dreams, and a man who can interpret could go far, could become a star.
All right.
All right.
What's going on?
More dream business.
You are correct. There is, in fact, more dream business.
And I think, wait.
Sorry.
That
was my bad.
It's
Don't
okay.
stare.
It's all right. I thought you were just deciding. That's it. That's all you have to say for that answer.
No, I'm just trying to get the next song queued up.
No, you're all good. So that does kind of... Last we left our good friend Joseph, he was in quite the pickle. And I still don't know how he got there or what the pickle is. But he's in it, for sure. And I'm starting to think that he is going to dream his way out of it.
I'm just imagining this man in a little pickle that looks like a little Hot Wheels car or something, but it's a pickle.
I imagine, see, what came into my mind is, do you guys know the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile? Like a giant one of those?
Yes.
I will say, you're actually not all that far off.
So good.
So here's your next song.
Guess what? In his bed, Pharaoh had an uneasy night. He had a dream that pinned him to his sheets with fright. No one knew the meaning of the dream. What to do, whatever would it be? Then his butler said,
I know of a bloke in jail who is had on dreams, could explain old Pharaoh's tale.
All right, what's going on?
So I'm picking up on some patterns. We've heard about the Pharaoh before. We're hearing more about dreams. And I forget which song, but this melody has happened before, right? I'm not making that up.
Yes.
Okay.
It has.
Yeah.
So something that's cool about this show is there are no lines. It is sung through the entire thing.
I love sung
Yeah.
through shows.
Yeah. So, so there's a lot of repeated melodies in this, but
So Pharaoh needs something. I'm gathering. I caught the line about there's a prisoner. So I feel like it's real safe to assume that that's Joseph. So whatever's going on with the Pharaoh, somehow Joseph can help him. So there's probably going to be some bargain there. I'll help you not to die in a pit if you, I don't know, tell me your dreams, give me your coat, something like that.
You're pretty close.
Okay.
You're like right there, but just not there.
I love it.
It's like the big bad wolf of like Pickletown. Like he's coming for that coat.
Yo!
Does Joseph live in Pickletown now?
I guess.
That's the desert name. You know how we can remember it? That's it. It's Pickletown.
For sure.
All right. The next song is my favorite song from the show.
Okay.
And here it is.
That kings ain't stupid, but I don't have a clue. So don't be cruel, Joel. Help me now, I beg of you. Well, I was standing doing nothing in a field out of town when I saw 7 beautiful ears of corn. Oh yeah, they were ripe, they were golden, and you guessed it, right behind them there were 7 other ears, tattered and torn. Oh yeah.
All right. What's going on?
Elvis is a corn farmer.
Yes.
That's not my full answer. But
It could be.
they really are bouncing around with all the styles. You're right. There's like one of every kind of song in this show. Slash Jen, though. This is a farmer, and he is singing about his corn. Or I guess maybe it's not his corn. He just saw some really cool corn. Wait, hang on. This is the desert. What? This corn in the Middle East.
You are missing one essential character, and I'm not telling you who it is.
Jesus Christ Superstar?
Let me be upset about this.
Be upset about it.
or just confused.
Like, you are so close.
I didn't think corn grew where we were right now. I know I'm missing apparently a really huge point. But I'm sorry. You know how it is. It got a tangent. Sometimes you got a tangent.
Oh, absolutely. That's what this entire show is.
Wonderful.
I am letting you know, as soon as you get that final detail, you're going to hate me. When we're going to explain it, but you're going to hate me for it. All right?
I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to let myself, kick myself.
All right, cool.
This is very essential to point out, and it's one of Coley's ADHD thoughts of the show. Tyler played this song for me when we were on our way to the Rainforest Cafe. Thank
Did
you.
I?
Yeah. I'm like 99% sure.
I probably did.
Yeah, because you said, oh yeah, we're doing this show, by the way. Let's listen to it. And
Yeah.
it was this song.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we went to Rainforest Cafe.
It was
really
fun. We drove 2 hours. It's okay.
It was so fun. It was so worth it. Can we make that a segment in the show now? Coley's ADHD thought of the day.
Oh my God, yes.
It's going to happen.
Pickletown.
We can make it a little jingle. Coley's ADHD.
My
thought
intermission
of the day.
song.
I'll write it.
Please write it. Okay, so here is your next song. I will let you know this is starting straight from the beginning.
7 years of bumper crops are on their way. Years of plenty, endless wheat, and tons of hay. Your farms will boom, there won't be room to store the surplus food you grow. After that, the future doesn't look so bright. Egypt's luck will change completely overnight. And famine's hand will stock the land with food and all-time low.
All right, what's going on?
I feel like I'm picking up on things but failing to find the common thread.
However, that's the point of the show.
I'm noticing a lot of the number 7, but I'm not regarding that too much because I know that 7 is a holy number. So there's probably just a lot of 7s because Christianity loves the number 7. I feel like it's probably just the good old Bible classic of there was probably some kind of drought or famine or something. And sounds like now that's turning around. sounds like people are finally growing their food again, which is lovely. But I'm gathering that maybe the hard times that fell on Pickletown were no more corn, shriveled, sad, small penis corn.
And that's what the contest was at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
You are so close. There is like literally one small detail that you're missing that'll make this all make sense, but you are so close.
Insane.
All right, here's your next song.
Harold told his guards to fetch a chisel from the local store, where a bunny ordered them to cut the chains that Joseph wore. Joseph got a royal pardon and a host of splendid things, a chariot of gold, a cloak, a medal, and some signet rings. Joseph, Pharaoh's number 2. Joseph, Egypt looks beautiful. Joseph, Pharaoh's number 2. Joseph, Egypt looks beautiful. Oh.
Discuss.
Whatever Joseph did for the Pharaoh was the coolest thing anyone had ever done at this point in history. Because Pharaoh set him free, which I thought would be the original trade-off, whatever the Pharaoh needed, and then Joseph can continue to live and hang out. But he's got gold and cool rings, and he's the Pharaoh's right-hand man. Egypt is looking to him. So either the Pharaoh was in quite the severe predicament, or Joseph just paid him back tenfold. Because Pharaoh's super grateful. Here's a bunch of gold and power and love and respect.
If you could like just imagine like what's happening on like stage right now, like what would you think's happening?
Some Andrew Lloyd Webber nonsense.
Basically.
I'm
Describe the Andrew
imagining
Lloyd
a
Webber
lot
nonsense.
of flexed hands and maybe some spinning around, and the chorus has all these, they're like robes because it's like a half-baked attempt at being period accurate, but it's shiny and glittery because it's also the 70s. And
Period accurate in Pickletown.
Absolutely.
Basically.
yeah.
When we finish the show, I'm going to tell you the actor who played this specific character in the movie, and it is going to blow your mind because it is so funny.
I can't wait to learn.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, here is your next song.
Okay.
Those Canaan days we used to know, where have they gone? Where did they go? Eh bien, raise your railways to those Canaan.
That pop was part of the song, by the way, just so you know.
Pop.
Also, like, the minute, like, the breath hit, I just watched Simon's face go from, like, fascination to this is some Andrew Lloyd Webber nonsense.
No, you know what it does sound like? That sounds like a bit out of... I heard that same joke in Spamalot. That, it seems...
Spamalot is probably parodying this.
I'm lying because I haven't heard that cast recording in many, many years, but it seems like something out of an overt comedy. Like, obviously that was played for humor. There's no way that was done completely unironically, but come on. Clearly this is a joke song. You know what? Actually, this is making me think that this is a side character's song. Because it's very funny, or at least it's trying to be very funny. That voice at the end, because you're telling me this is Canadian, so I can't tell if that actor at the end was doing a character voice or is a Quebecois with a heavy French-Canadian accent. But I clocked something of that nature for sure. Not plot relevant at all. That's Simon's ADHD tangent, because I'm also a French minor, so I catch that stuff.
Simon is ADHD.
So No, I'm gonna stick by, because I was trying to gather, it was hard for me to honestly pick up on any lyrics, but I am gonna stick with that. That's like the only thread I have, is that like this is not a main character singing, because it's so much of a silly, goofy time that like they're not gonna put anything too serious or important in this song. Or at least I would hope not.
Cool. We're going to circle back to that.
Awesome.
So here is your next song. This is another two-parter because this one, again, for whatever reason, they combined them in the soundtrack, but they are two separate songs. So here's your first part.
We will starve if we hang around here, but in Egypt there's food going spare. They've got corn, they've got meat, they've got fruit and drinks.
And if we have the time, we could see the Sphinx.
So they finally decided to go.
Here we go.
Off to Egypt to see Brother Joe.
So tell us about it.
Okay. Aside from everything that is ridiculous and insane about what I have just heard, new fact, or theory at least, the pharaohs in Egypt, Joseph's not from Egypt. Joseph was brought to Egypt to help out the pharaoh, and Egypt is where there's all this bountiful crops. Joseph and friends, or at least Joseph's friends, are still down and out a little bit, but they're hearing about how well Egypt is doing, and they're like, well, let's go and schmooze up the pharaoh, or we'll see our good buddy Joe, and he's gonna, because he's friends with the pharaoh now, so we're gonna see if we can get our friend Joseph to let us not starve to death.
You know, actually, you're spot on. That's exactly what's going on at this point. You're still missing one very, very small detail.
That's all right.
But you are so close. All right.
Sometimes I do real well.
You're doing good.
You're doing great, sweetie.
So here's the second part of that.
All this tugging at my heartstrings seems quite justified. I shall give you what you came for, and lots more beside.
Thank you, Prince Mouse to fall. Worship, like Neil Sponge Troll.
So tell us about what you just heard.
Joseph is, as I surmised at the beginning of this, a good guy. And everyone comes over to Egypt, where he's hanging out now, and they're like, Joseph, we're dying out here. It's rough out here. You remember our small corn? And Joseph is like, yeah, no, that sucks for you guys. I've got connections now, though, because of my really cool coat. So I'm gonna give you what you're asking for, and then some. And then all of his friends were like, that's awesome. Rebel. And I think I heard something about worship. I think this also is restoring people's faith in the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, you're very, very close. You are extremely close. So here is your next song. This one I just think is really, really cool.
Okay.
I was fanboying to Coley earlier about how cool I think this one is. So enjoy it.
Is it Reuben? Is it Simeon? Is it Naphtali? Is it Dan? Is it Asher? Is it Issachar? Is it Levi? Who's the man? Is it Zebulun? Is it Gad? Is it Judah? Is it him?
And
right.
Tyler, what's the cool fact about this song?
The song is in 7/8 time.
I did catch that.
Yeah. I just think that's the coolest thing that they somehow made that work. But
We
yeah,
love a symmetrical meter in this house.
we do. But tell us what's going on. What'd you hear?
I could not completely make out the name of the man who it is. it sounded like Mega Man to me, but that's a robot from video games and not a biblical figure.
It's actually Megamind, sorry.
Oh.
It is not Megamind. I will assure you of that.
Okay. It sure isn't a lot of dudes. It certainly was not a name that I've heard before. It certainly was not like Joseph or Jacob. So I don't know what it is.
We did give you like an unfair disadvantage where the character's name is revealed earlier in the show, but we didn't play that part of the show for you.
That's okay.
However,
we made up a new guy, and he's really special.
and his name is Megamind.
He's blue.
So here's the next one. This should hopefully give you some answers.
I hear the steel drums sing their song. They're singing, man, you know you got it wrong. I hear the voice of the yellow bird singing in the tree. This is quite absurd. Oh yes, it's true, it's true. Benjamin is straighter than the big bamboo. No ifs, no buts. Benjamin is honest as coconuts.
It's Benjamin.
Yes.
Diction needs work. I know you were really belting it, girly.
Thank you, Dr. Dietz.
My beloved. Again, I have a question/comment, but it has nothing to do with the plot. Is the actor who just sang what we just heard white?
No.
Okay, good. Good, I was so scared.
No.
I was
it
so
is a
scared.
person of color, so nope.
And he did still write it, though. So,
Yeah.
okay, so Benjamin. What's the deal with Benjamin?
What's the deal with airline food?
Helicopter. Thank you.
That was a bonus ADHD thought.
Yeah.
I will confirm a helicopter is not relevant to the plot at this time. Thank you.
No, real though. I should have been paying a bit more attention to the lyrics. I keep finding new guys who are important for various reasons.
You're just slowly collecting Jacob's sons.
Oh. Did you spoil something?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, yes, but no.
Benjamin is one of Jacob's special boys?
I won't confirm that yet.
I'm gonna run with that.
Okay.
I feel like everyone is a farmer. I feel like everyone's a farmer. And Benjamin's like a really good one. Or God really likes him. Or
That's my farmer's only bio, actually.
God really likes me. Oh my God, that's such a good dating app. Happy Valentine's Day. If you're single, change your Tinder bio right now to God really likes me. I'm a great farmer and God loves me.
Happy Valentine's Day, by the way.
You're gonna get
Changing my bio
so
on
many
Instagram to that
DMs
right now.
I promise. You should definitely listen to my dating advice. I know what I'm doing. And
Okay,
So here's
Simon.
your next song. This one is really, really short, so we're giving you halfway to the end.
okay.
Did you get anything from that?
Joseph has come home and everyone is in disbelief, is what I'm guessing.
Joseph has arrived
Because
home
at
from
first
the
they're
Tim
like,
McGraw
is it
concert.
really true? And I'm ready to listen to the next part of the couplet. And I'm like, what do they need to know is true? But then they say, is it really you? So I think it's just one of those like, do my eyes deceive me? Joseph, is that you?
Yo, whippersnapper.
Yeah,
welcome
exactly.
home.
So I think Joseph's come home and everyone's just like so pleasantly surprised about it.
Awesome. All right, so here's your next one. We are starting this from the beginning.
Okay.
It's Christmas in Pickletown.
All right, that was my fun little piece. Anything?
I do think it's very funny because you're right. I agree that song is so Christmas coded. I think it's mostly because of the bells and the like twinkly piano up in the like 6th octave or whatever. And that's funny to me because it's definitely not truly what the point of the song is, and there's no Christ yet.
Exactly.
So, and no winter where they are either, so it's not just like non-denominational winter festivities.
It's just a normal December 25th in Pickletown.
Exactly, that's exactly right.
And it's just a real nice December 25th.
There you go.
Although I guess, no, because like, Hanukkah's not even one of the big ones, so they wouldn't be that amped about it.
This is true.
All right. Are you ready? This is your finale.
Oh, man!
We're giving you almost a full minute on this.
The light is dimming, and the dream is too. The world and I, we are still waiting, still hesitating. Any dream will do. Still hesitating. Any dream will
All right. I saw a connection happen in your face.
I lied. I also know at least that melodic figure.
Yes.
I know the phrase "any dream will do."
Mm-hmm.
That was the big connection. Was I know this one. Forgot about this one.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The line about the light dimming makes me think that this whole thing has actually taken way more time within the plot than I had initially anticipated, and I feel like maybe Joseph's ready to go. He's gonna go with God now. Joseph's nearing the end of his life. That's
Are you saying that Joseph is dying?
What else is go to the light? The light's the.
It's actually just that one part of like the end of the Lorax where like he lifts his little butt up and he goes like up to the sky.
What else? That's what that means.
I'm actually peeing.
Okay, so I'm gonna retcon that because you're talking at me like I'm wrong and that I'm the weird one.
You're not.
This is actually Simon's show. Get it right.
It's definitely, well, I mean, you told me it was the finale. We're going back to the dreams. It's one of the songs that more people are likely to know. It's a nice wrap up. It's a happy ending. This is not a tragedy. Andy. Joseph dreamed his way back home, and everyone has enough corn, and he probably got his coat back, and it's still as bright as ever.
The end. So, on terms of on a scale of 1 to 10 of how well you did predicting the plot, Coley, what would you give them?
In what they created, I just want to give them a 10. I'm so invested in Pickletown.
So you're giving me a 10 for writing a good story.
That's the Joseph that they would want to see.
Like, Joseph went to a Tim McGraw concert, drank a little too much, was at, like, a corn comparing contest, and his pickle got stolen and his cape did, but now he's back.
So, on terms, because I know the show very, very well, on terms of how well you actually predicted it, I'm gonna give you a solid 7. You did really good. You were fairly accurate.
I'm gonna totally run with that.
I'll follow. I called you Simon. Tyler 7. You were pretty there.
Pretty there.
Thank you.
So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the entire premise of the show. And by quick, I mean I'm going to go way too into detail because I love this show.
That's totally
fine. We meet our main character who's Joseph, and he is one of Jacob's 12 sons. He is his favorite son because he reminds him of Jacob's favorite wife. And Because he is Jacob's favorite son, Jacob gives Joseph a bright Technicolor Dreamcoat, which they describe in the song as red and yellow and green and blue and violet and brown and ochre and peach. I'm not going to keep going. So his brothers don't like the fact that he's Jacob's favorite son, so his brothers take his coat, destroy it, and throw him in a well. And basically for lack of a better term, I don't know if this is a slur, and if it is, I apologize immediately. A group of Israelites find Joseph, and his brothers sell him into slavery to Potiphar. So that was the name you were missing. Potiphar is a very wealthy figure in Egypt. And Potiphar, I'm trying to think of a good way to describe this. So Potiphar's wife isn't in love with Potiphar, but falls in love with Joseph. So Potiphar's wife is insistent that Joseph sleeps with her. Joseph refuses, but Potiphar's wife still basically strips him naked. And Potiphar walks in on Joseph being naked and his wife throwing herself onto him. So Potiphar throws Joseph in jail. Close every door comes. It is just Joseph being down on his luck and looking to God for guidance. It is revealed at this point that Joseph can interpret dreams and that Joseph has a gift for interpreting dreams. That is the other detail that you were just short. You knew it was something about dreams, but it was the fact that he could interpret dreams. So basically, Joseph interprets two people in jail's dreams and shows that he has a gift of it. One is a butler and one is a baker. He predicts that the butler is going to be freed from jail and that the baker is going to die just based on what they said in the dreams. So word gets out about Joseph being able to predict dreams, and he is recruited by Pharaoh to interpret Pharaoh's dreams. And Pharaoh has a dream about 7 fat cows and 7 ears of corn. And basically what this predicts is that Egypt is about to have a plentiful harvest, but after that is going to enter into a drought. So in order to, Joseph comes up with a plan in order to prevent the drought from ever happening in Egypt specifically. So basically, Joseph is celebrated for this prediction, even though they don't know at this point if it's going to be right. And he is freed from jail, and he basically becomes the Pharaoh's right-hand man at this point. Back at home, Joseph's brothers are struggling, and they are starving, and they recruit help from Joseph. So they all go to Egypt, and they basically grovel, hey, sorry for selling you into slavery, but, can you feed us? And Joseph maliciously agrees, but at the time of him maliciously agreeing, he plants a cup in one of his brothers, Benjamin's backpack. And they have to beg Joseph, hey, Benjamin's innocent. He'd never do this. Please still feed us. And at this point, he determines that Joseph determines that it is time to go home and see his family and see his brothers and see his father. So he returns home to his homeland, and then you lead into the finale of Any Dream Will Do. And that's Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
All right.
Yeah. So you weren't all that far off. You were along the right track. You just missed the detail of Joseph being able to interpret dreams, which really sets you back here.
That's fine.
Yeah. I think it's way
honestly,
more fun to come up with Pickletown anyway.
With getting to hear all of those once and my track record of auditory processing as it is, I'm not going to fault myself for that. I'm taking that clean 7.
No, you did really good. You actually legitimately did really good.
How did you enjoy this show?
I enjoyed it the same way I enjoyed Cats.
Okay.
So that bad, huh?
No. Okay, here's the thing.
No, you're good.
Here is the thing. Cats 2019, obviously, comically,
Horrendous.
famously terrible, did lead me to watching a bunch of video essays about the original stage production, and I've got a lot more respect for that, holds a lot more merit. But it is still the kind of production where I'm like, oh, Cats, you know? Oh, buddy.
Oh, Cats.
And that's kind of how I felt. I mean, the music kind of goes. If some of those
For
numbers
this?
kind of go. I'm
it
going to listen
slaps.
to this, but I'm definitely going to listen to it with a little bit of, loving teasing. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
No, I have such a soft spot for this song because I was actually in the pit orchestra for this song, or for this show rather, and it always will have a soft spot. I love this show so much. And I just love it, I think, for that soft spot. I don't think it'd be anything I'd listen to outside of that. So, Simon, thank you so much for being here. This was so fun.
Thank you so much for having me. I have, if you don't mind, I know it's time.
No,
I have
please go
one
for it.
closing remark.
Go for it.
13, 9, 3, 8, 1, 5, 12.
What was that? Okay. Will I find out later?
Off the air.
Okay,
Maybe.
cool. All right, so I think Coley's in the booth and ready to cue us off.
All right.
Simon, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. You've been listening to 89.5 The Inferno. This is the show to be determined. Thank you so much, and until next Tuesday, have a good night. Yeah.